What if Canada was born by accident? In 1864, leaders from across British North America gathered in Charlottetown, not to build a country, but to discuss a simple maritime union. But somewhere between the meetings and the drinks at the Grand Hotel, the conversation changed. What started as a regional idea became something far bigger, a new nation. And just like that, this quiet island became the seed of what Canada would grow into. Today we're exploring Prince Edward Island, but first, to get here, we have to cross over one of the longest bridges in the world. That's an impressive feat of engineering and construction right there. A little bit of information about the Confederation Bridge. It was completed in May of 1997. Cost over $1 billion to make, and it's 12.9 kilometers long. All right, let's go over it. To cross the bridge is a $50 toll. I do believe, though, you pay the toll when you're crossing back onto the mainland. Prince Edward Island is Canada's smallest province, but one of its most iconic. Just 225 kilometers long, it's a slender crescent of red sand cliffs, rolling farmland, and quiet idyllic towns. The island was renamed in 1798 after Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, the father of Queen Victoria. Before that, it was called Ile Saint-Jean, reflecting the early history as part of Acadia, France's former territory in the Maritimes. Greetings from the beautiful city of Charlottetown in Prince Edward Island. Charlottetown may be small, but it's full of charm. Most of its sites are centered around the beautiful harbor, lined with shops, restaurants, and a few local favorites, including the famous Cow's Ice Cream, a proudly Prince Edward Island business with locations across the island and now across Canada. There's also the Founders Food Hall, with even more good eats. It's the kind of place that's perfect for a slow walk around town. But the real beauty of this province lies beyond the city, in the landscapes that stretch across the island. So let's go explore. Driving through the countryside here in Prince Edward Island is wonderful. I wish I had a convertible right now. When visiting Prince Edward Island, you really have to set aside at least a day to drive around the island and take in its scenery. There are interesting spots in both the far east and west, and the south coast is especially known for its iconic red sand beaches and cliffs. But today, I focused on the central and northern coast. My first stop was the beautiful area of French River, one of the most scenic drives on the island, with incredible views around every turn. From there, I continued on towards the island's most famous destination, Cavendish. Just outside the town, you'll find the Green Gables Heritage Place, the home and landscape that inspired the 1908 novel Anne of Green Gables. So the Anne of Green Gables novel was first published in 1908, and it's set here in Prince Edward Island in the fictional town of Avonlea. Plot follows that Anne was an orphan who was mistakenly sent to a home here in Prince Edward Island, and slowly, through her charm and her wit, she wins over her newly adopted family and makes a home here. It's a beautiful area, and if you're lucky, you might even spot the statue of author Lucy Maud Montgomery enjoying the summer sunset. Continuing north, Cavendish Beach, part of Prince Edward Island National Park, is the perfect spot on a sunny summer day, where you can head down to the water and take a dip in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Back in town, Cavendish has a fun, old-school feel with the Cavendish Sandspit Amusement Park, including roller coasters, a Ferris wheel, and mini golf. After a long day of exploring, I stopped at Avonlea Village, where you can try different food spots, Later that evening, I made my way back to Charlottetown, a city that's also worth seeing at night. Prince Edward Island is small, but it packs a powerful punch. Toll gates coming up here. Get the receipt. That was easy enough. Trip number 2 across the Confederation Bridge. If you've enjoyed the journey so far, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode into a new section of Canada, where both the landscape and the culture shift